Hi, everybody. I thought I would try something a little different today. I decided to make a ring. So what I'm doing right here is I have a little bit of bar stock and I'm annealing it. So I'm heating it up till it's cherry red, and then I'm going to let it cool down, not quench it. And that way it makes it easier to move when I need to hammer it around the ring mandrel, which I'm doing right here. This video is going to be a little different. I'm going to talk more about my processes and I don't know what it's like to work with metal. You'll see here, I hit my fingers a lot right there. And making jewelry and metalworking is pretty dangerous. You can hurt yourself a lot of ways. There's lots of safety precautions to learn. That's why some of my video angles might not be the best or might not be zoomed in the best, but I do that so I can be safe, so I don't burn up my camera, so I don't bump into things. It's just good in general. Now here I'm going to show you, I took little scraps of silver and I'm going to heat them up until they get molten, and then they'll go into a little ball shape. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's just fun. So I'm just heating them up, and then we'll get onto one piece of metal here, and then it'll just start heating up. It'll get red and it'll go boop, there's a ball. It's pretty fun. I like to add these to my work. I don't know, I think it's fun, and it's good use of our scraps. When I was taught how to do all my jewelry making through high school and college and outside of college, I was always taught to reuse. Don't ever throw away stuff. If you know anybody that does metalworking or artists in general, we tend to hoard and be pack rats about things because most things are very useful more than one time. So these are little scraps that I cut off of other projects, and I'm gonna add them to my work. The sad thing is I had to make several of these little balls because I kept bumping them and they kept rolling away. So I need to go through my studio and find them where they rolled away. Right here I'm showing you where I put 4 of the little balls of silver together and I'm fusing them. This is possible when you have silver. I'm not sure if you can do it with brass and copper. Definitely not copper. Copper doesn't like to be melted. But with silver, if you get them all the silver balls the same temperature, they will fuse together. You won't need to solder it. It'll just do that on its own. Yeah, I thought I would use this on my ring. I ended up not, but it's still cool that I got to go and do it and play around with it. So here's my ring. I took one of the silver balls I made and I put it on there, and I'm heating it up with the torch. The bubbling is the flux. It kind of turns into a marshmallow and then it gets all melty, and there's a piece of solder right there. So I have to slowly heat it up, or the bubbling and boiling of the flux will make the solder fly off of the piece. I think all of us, if you've done metal work, has had that happen. Yep, and I'm just heating it up slowly, and there goes the solder onto the ball, which I have to get the ring the same temperature so they'll flow in between and be solid. You have to make sure your solders are really well done because jewelry gets worn a lot. Now I'm putting 3 more of the little silver balls on there, and I'm using a old file to hold my ring up and as a heat sink so it doesn't heat up the solder joint I just put on the other end of the ring. Pretty much it's only going to get warm right where I'm using the torch. I use my tweezers carefully to adjust where everything is sitting because I want them lined up just nice. You don't want stuff all haphazard and crazy looking. I'm also using a torch with a little tube extender with a handle. It's a lot more easy to use than holding a propane bottle, and yeah, it's just easier to hold on to. All right, now I'm working on putting my setting for my stone. I decided to set a stone in this one. There it is. It's a little out of focus, but like I said, I was trying my best and trying to be safe with everything. So what I'm doing is I put solder in that spot where I want it, right at the edge where you see it bubbling up, and I'm trying to melt that and warm up my stone setting enough where I can just set it onto it. I don't really want to set it on there and then heat it up because I might melt the prongs off of it and that'd be really sad. I got these pre-made little settings which are very handy, a little less headache to make your own. So yep, just soldering it on and I got it on. So now here's, I'm just shaping the edge of the ring just so it's nice and smooth. This, I'm using my flex shaft. My husband got it for me for my birthday. It was a great present. Flex shaft is a step up from a Dremel. It's much easier to use. It's like a motor with a cable that comes off of it that goes to this handheld thing with a foot pedal. Like a sewing machine, you can control how fast it goes. Now I'm buffing, and the first step of buffing is triple E, and it's kind of like a sanding, really. Gets all the little scratches out. If I need to sand, I would go back and use my flex shaft. It's a lot faster than using sandpaper. And I also put a little black max on there so my around my details stands out a little bit better, a little bit of patina. This is the rouge. It just is like the cherry on the sundae when it comes to buffing. This is the polishing. It's almost like a wax you put on it and it makes everything shine really nice. Now I don't have a stone setting set up, so this is the best I could. I had a ring mandrel for my buffing wheel, and so I put it on there in a little vise I have, and I just work away at slowly pushing in the prongs. At one point I got it as far as I could go with it upright, and I flipped it upside down off camera. Sometimes it's easier to work off camera. Flipped upside down off camera, and then I finished setting the stone upside down, which worked great because the stone sat right where it needed to go. So here's my finished product. It's a little different, a little weird. I've been wearing it all day and it's super comfortable, and I really like how it turned out. You can't feel the missing ring at all in that space, and I like the use of negative space. Yeah, it's just something different. I like to make different and strange things, and I challenged myself. I used what I already had on hand. So, yep. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, subscribe and watch more. Bye.